Oh, she used to have sizable breasts, but now the breasts are becoming bigger. The breast used to be pointed, but now the breasts are dropping. Hello, good to see you once again. I'm glad to be here. I am Philip Adebayo, Pastor Philad, the WISDOMAQUINE coach. And this is WISDOMAQUINE. Don't forget, Locomasepav. That is the password here. You can send your questions that has to do with love, courtship, marriage, sex, parenting, and family. Locomasepav. That is the key. And the number is displayed on the screen via which you can send your questions via WhatsApp, and I'll be glad to answer them just as I'm answering these questions that we have been attending to every day. Now, to today's question. Today's question from one of our fans says, what can you do if you find your spouse unattractive anymore? If you find your spouse unattractive anymore. And this is the reality. And many people are facing this issue in their marriage. And I want you to know that there is solution for everything. Under God, there is no problem that cannot be solved. There is no problem without a solution. And now to the answer. Ìyàwó mi, olólùfẹ́ mi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, aláyọ̀ mi, I will love you forever. Ìyàwó mi, olólùfẹ́ mi, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, aláyọ̀ mi, I will love you forever. Three things may be responsible for this: finding your spouse unattractive anymore. Number one is what in Nigeria we call see finish. That is over familiarity. You know, there's this tendency that anything, no matter how beautiful, that you see every day, you start losing the appreciation you used to have for that thing. That is, that thing begins to appear as a depreciation to you. So, but there is no problem. If that is the case, because when it comes to marriage, people appearances can change. Like there are features you used to see, maybe if you are a man in your wife, maybe she was slim and you like the slim figure, but now she has started producing children and she's becoming fat. Oh, she used to have sizable breasts, but now the breasts are becoming bigger. The breasts used to be pointed, but now the breasts are dropping. For example, somebody like me, my wife was not as fat as she is now when we were in courtship. And permit me to say, she didn't have a big ikebe when we were in courtship. But now, the backyard is bigger than what I bargained for. But the one thing you must settle is that you must expect these changes ahead of time. When you are not prepared for all this, you are going to have these issues bringing up crisis in your marriage. And you need to deliberately work on your mind, because you can only marry this person. You can only be married to this person. Once you say I do, you cannot go back and you cannot go and marry a second wife, particularly if you are a Christian. Monogamy is what we practice. And so, as a result of this, you need to deliberately work on your mind intentionally to begin to appreciate those features you now see in your wife. Maybe some of those features that were there before, but are now becoming pronounced. You need to now focus on them and deliberately work on yourself to appreciate it. Some of those features that were not there that are now showing up, you need to deliberately work on your mind as well to start appreciating them. Like me, like I said, I started putting more attention on those features in my wife, so that there is nothing an outsider will do to attract me, because I have developed interest in those features I am now seeing in my wife. So if it is see finish that is affecting you, you believe you have seen your wife or your husband every day, and now he or she is not looking as attractive as he or she used to be in time past. Work on your mind so that you don't go and fall into the sin of adultery, because that is one of the most terrible things that can happen to any man. And the Bible categorizes the sin of fornication and adultery, sexual sin, as the worst sin that begins to destroy the person right here on earth. So that is the first factor. The second factor that can be responsible for not appreciating your spouse as before could be careless appearance or shabby dressing. And this is things that happen to people because some people, after they get married, they believe they now have what they wanted. And before they got married, they used to dress well and pay attention to their looks. They want to look good out there in order to attract the right woman into their life or the right man into their life. But the moment they get married, they just relax. So the upkeep will drop, their good appearance will drop, they begin to appear shabby and unkempt. And this is not a good thing. So if this is the case with your spouse, you need to have a meeting. Call him or her into a meeting. And that is why in marriage, there is no hide and seek. We don't hide anything. You say things the way they are so that you can solve the problem once and for all and you can make progress from there. So let your spouse know that this is what is happening to you. I believe that if both of you are on the same page, this matter will be addressed. Then still in line with this, it also affects the issue of attitude. Some people used to have some very friendly and a kind of lovely attitude before they got married, trying to attract the right person into their life or marriage. But suddenly, after they get married, they begin to behave the exact opposite of what they used to be before they get married. It still boils down to discussion. Sit your spouse down. Before we married, this is who you were. This is why I got interested in you. This is why I made up my mind to marry you. Apart from the fact that I prayed and God told me, yes, that you should be the one. Personally speaking, as a human being, these were the factors that attracted me to you. But now, the attraction is no more there. So mention it and let it be addressed so that both of you can see how you can cooperate and work together to make sure that you work things out and your marriage begins to work. Let's move to the third item. The third factor that can be responsible for this is lack and poverty. I tell you, poverty is real. You know, the same person who used to wear some kind of very attractive, clothes in those days. But now, the money is no longer there. Responsibilities are increasing. So the focus has changed from dressing and appearance to meeting family needs and attending to extended family issues and several other, the more we grow, the more responsibilities accumulate for us. So the tendency is that the money is not as surplus as it used to be. Some those loose change that used to be there to buy clothes, to buy shoes, to make hair like before, the money is no more there like that. So when there is lack of funds, when there is poverty, you should know that the dressing, the appearance of the person will also be affected. For the woman, for example, she may be slim and now she's getting fatter. And those clothes she used to wear that used to fit her, she has grown beyond that size and she does not have money to buy the clothes of her present size. And so, if she still continues to wear the old clothes, definitely they will not look good on her. The same thing applies to the man. Some men, they were not as chubby as they are. Some men will get married and in a space of 3 months, they become broad-chested, their cheeks will be as if it wants to fall. Some begins to grow pot belly. Of course, these are things that should be addressed for the sake of your health too. But what am I trying to say when it comes to attraction is that the things you used to wear before that used to fit you will look odd on you. So you need to go for new sizes of dresses, of wears that will be fitting for your present size and stature. Also is the issue of cosmetics, all those things that you used to use that were making your skin to glow and to come out shiny bright that attracted your spouse to you. You don't now have money to get them again. If you are suffering from poverty and lack, you will discover that the moment you are not using those things again, maybe you begin to have patches on your face, which was not like that. Begin to have pimples and nothing to treat it like before. All those conditioners and body treatment of those days, they are no more there. The attraction can start dropping. So this is a crucial matter that must be addressed for the marriage not to collapse. So both of you still need to sit down and discuss it. Women, for instance, what it costs to make their hair at times is much. And if at the present level your family does not have that kind of money to sponsor that kind of hair from time to time, and some women will resort to barbing their hair, and you may not like it as a man, that you love her because of those 1 million braids, and now she's forced to barb her head because of poverty, because of lack, because she has been carrying unkempt hair, and eventually she decides to cut it off. So these factors come into play. But if you sit down and you both come to the reality that your mind will accept the reality while you are working for a better life, so that things can improve. And the moment both of you are able to sit down and talk about it, you will see the reality that it's not the fault of your spouse, maybe the man or the woman who is now not looking attractive as before. That is, if it is poverty, if it is lack. So you will know that it's something that is affecting the family, and it's telling on this person. So it is not the person's fault per se as a person. So you will definitely cooperate to weather the storm of that time of lack and poverty together. And I pray that your breakthrough will come in the name of Jesus. So if any of these three is the one affecting you concerning your marriage, that you are not finding your spouse attractive, they have been addressed. No power will be able to break your home or destroy your marriage in the name of Jesus. And I pray that the love of God that you saw in your wife, that made you to love her, that you saw in your husband, that made you to fall in love, will come up again, and you will build a solid home and a loving marriage in the name of Jesus. See you next time. I remain Pastor Philad, the Wisdom McQueen coach. And don't forget, feel free to send your questions. Just as I'm attending to this, yours too will be duly attended to. And don't forget to also subscribe to our channel, like us, follow us on Facebook, on TikTok, and on all our handles. And the number on the screen is the number through which you can send your question through WhatsApp. See you next time. Enjoy your day.